we're going to be drafting against one another. The best rosters we can from just the 2023 NFL draft class. So it's going to be, fantasy football format, snake draft format. Mike and I are going to go back and forth. We're going to put together the best 11 on 11 teams that we possibly can. And then you guys at the end of the show got to vote whose team would win, my team or Mike's team, going head up against each other using only draft prospects. Mike, how we doing, my friend?
Doing great. It's just the NFL show.
It's
reunion.
Little salute there to It's Just Football that we had this past season, obviously with Mike and I hosting. I know a lot of people in the chat were fans of both shows, so a little bit of a blast from a past here on a Tuesday for you. So, dude, I'm very excited about this one. This was your idea as we were thinking of what we could do today, because we've done so many different mock drafts, so many different rankings. A lot of people have heard those before, but this is a great way for us to talk about a lot of these draft prospects while having a little bit of pride on the line and some team building on the line too. So I'm excited for this one, man. Did you see this somewhere else, or was this just like, this is a great idea, we should do this?
So I've done it in the past. We did it in the past on Tailgate, but I was driving up from Orlando to here on Sunday, 12-hour drive. I blew through a zillion draft pods on the way, and Move the Sticks had done a similar concept with just offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball. And I thought, that's lame. Why not do a whole roster? Put your nuts out there and see what actually sticks. So that's what we're going to do.
That's what we're doing. We're just trying to put our nuts out there. That's the whole point of the podcast here of what we're doing. So to establish the rules, just so everybody knows, we're going to have, I think the way that the roster is broken up, we'll each have one quarterback, one running back, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 offensive tackles, 2 guards, 1 center, and then on the defense side of the ball, I guess, Mike, if you want to run a 3-4, you can run a 3-4, but the way that I have it set up is you get 2 edge rushers, 2 interior defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 3 safeties, because a lot more play is nickel play now. So 3 corners, because I think a lot more play in the NFL is nickel play, so we want to get more defensive backs there. So 3 corners and then 2 safeties. Obviously, there's a lot of flexibility of who you want to draft and place in those situations, given a lot of hybrid players. So we don't have to go in order. It's not like we both have to take quarterback first, then we go to running back. We are trying to snipe the other person, if you will, attack the classes where they're weakest or they're strongest, how we're going to build these teams. So I'm very curious to find out where you are going to emphasize your draft. But Quinn, for the number 1 pick, the number 1 pick is obviously huge in this draft. We're going to do snake draft, so whoever gets the number 1 pick, obviously the guy who gets second and third, and then we'll go from there. But number 1's pretty big. So do we have some sort of way to determine who's going to get the first pick here?
Let's do a trivia question.
Yes.
Will Anderson has the most sacks amongst this past season amongst draft-eligible prospects. How many sacks did he have?
Is it just how many? How many sacks do you have?
How many sacks, yeah. Whoever gets it or gets closest wins.
Okay.
In his career or just this past season? It was just this past season, correct?
Just this past season, regular and postseason combined.
Oh, it was less than last year.
It was. I think he had like 17 last year.
I think it was like 17 last year. I'm gonna go with 10.5.
I'll go 11. I was thinking.
Oh, your Price is right me, dude. His Price is right me.
Well, it works because it was 14.
Okay.
So Mike,
first pick, Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
Dude, I absolutely played myself there going first. I was so confident in the number. I didn't even think about the strategy to it. All right, so you're going Bryce?
Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. He is, to me, obviously quarterback most valuable position, and to me, he's clear head and shoulders above the rest. So I'm going Bryce Young, Alabama.
All right, I think that was the obvious. You said the number 1 overall pick means a lot in this draft, so that also means that I don't have to pick quarterback until the very end. So that gives you guys a reason to, tune into the entire podcast. Make sure you're not clicking away to see which quarterback I'm going to take to go up against Bryce Young. But I don't like that just happened. That's not great for me. I think for my back-to-back here, because there's a lot of strategy involved, right? You want to go after the positions in which you don't think it's as strong. I'm going to go... I think I just have to go the obvious ones.
Yeah.
I think I've got to go Jalen Carter, Will Anderson. I'm thinking to myself, like, I could go these other positions. there's not a lot of depth with safety. There's not a lot of depth with wide receiver. Depending on how you look at the interior offensive line class, like there's a couple of different ways that I could have gone, but you picked the guy who was the obvious at number 1. I think I have to pick the obvious 2 and 3. I'm going to go Will Anderson and then Jalen Carter with my 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't think the number 1 pick was that impactful for this very reason that there's 2 blue chip guys at valuable positions in this class. And then so if you don't get the quarterback, you get those 2 blue chip guys. So, all right. Gosh, I think one of my picks has to be Peter Skoronski here.
Okay.
I think he's just the best offensive lineman in this draft class, bar none. And I think it's pretty comfortably the best. And gives me flexibility because if I want to keep going tackles, I can throw him in at guard too, if I really want. And then after that, my next pick, I'm going to go – this one's tough, but I'm going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba too. I just think he's
okay. I almost outthought myself.
I think he's that good.
In the second and with my second and third picks to potentially go Jackson Smith and Jigba.
So we're going a little different. You got 2 D linemen. I got 3 offensive players right now, but I got Bryce Young, Jackson Smith, and Peter Skoronski. I'm feeling good. My team's good.
I mean, I think this is probably where the draft starts, right? Because you are picking. I wondered if Skoronski was going to go as early as he did, because there are still good offensive tackles in this class that you can be okay with. There's good wide receivers. But at the same time, I was having this debate in my head this morning as I was strategizing this. Smith and Jigba and Skoronski are clear the number 1 guys in there. So, yeah. All right. You got Bryce, JSN, Skoronski. Do I go offense? Where do I go? Okay. Jalen Carter, Will Anderson. I think I am going to stay offense. I think I got to do it. God, the corner class is so good, but I want to get in on it.
Get in.
No, I'm going to do. So I'm going to pick Bijan here.
I'm not too broken up about that.
Going Bijan with one of them. You're not getting away with that. I'm not letting you do it. I can't let you have Bryce, Smith and Jigba and Bijan. I can't do it. I got to block you. So I'll go Bijan with one of my selections. Clear RB1 in this class. And then I'm going to go with Brian Branch as my other one.
God damn it, that was going to be my next pick. That's a good pick.
That's how you know you made a good one, folks.
That's a good
when
pick.
You hear the grunts.
And why I think he still goes first round, right, is because of this reason. Is because, like, there's not another safety that you feel is going to come into the NFL and be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel now to find any safeties after Brian Branch off the board. So that was a good pick. All right.
I think what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm going to place him just as like slot CB. So I'm going to place him as one of the slot players.
Okay.
But then we'll see how I construct my roster after.
Put him on the D line.
Just declaring that to people.
All right. Where do I go from here? This is.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Good football players coming off the board. I'm going to see the chat. I'm going to see if the chat's going crazy about any of them.
Oh, man. I think I'm going to go. Just
to
make sure that I'm not getting really snookered here. I'm going to go Christian Gonzalez and Devin Witherspoon.
Oh, you did it! I think Abel in the chat just said somebody's got to go Gonzalez and Witherspoon.
I had to do it. I think they are the clear 1-2. Now I think you're still got good cornerbacks, but I feel a lot better about having shit safeties if my cornerbacks are this good. You know?
Yeah. I thought about doing that because it's just such a great duo, man. But there are a lot of really good corners, and I'm going to be okay, I think, with the corners that I get here, especially with Brian Branch playing with him in the slot. But Devon Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez. I don't know if you finalized your big board yet. Are those both top 10 players for you?
Yeah.
Top 15 players for you?
Those are top 10 players for me. I think they're probably, so compared to last year's class, I would have Stingley and Sauce ahead of them. They were 2 and 4 on the PFF draft board last year.
Okay.
But then I would have them ahead of, like, I love Trent McDuffie. He was 11 on the PFF draft board. I think Witherspoon and Gonzalez are probably just a touch better prospects than Trent McDuffie was last year.
Okay. All right. I had those guys very high as well. I would have at least had Stingley above those players. I might have had Devon over Sauce, but we've had some fantastic corners really over the last couple of years, going back to like the J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain class too. It's been a lot of fun to watch these good corners go off the board. All right, so let me recap it a little bit here. Quinn's making some graphics as fast as he possibly can, but for those who just joined, we're drafting full 22-man rosters against one another from just prospects in the 2023 NFL draft class. So far, Mike's got 5 picks. He's got Bryce Young, Jack Smith-Njigba, Peter Skoronski, and then Devon Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez. I have Bijan Robinson, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, and then Bryant Branch. All right, where am I going next here? What are we doing here? Somebody told me to take Tyree Wilson next. I am not nearly as high on Tyree Wilson as the rest of the world is. So I would be shocked if I get Tyree Wilson.